This is PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you PlayerProps.ai. This for winners research. We run it up with every betting tool you know in each perk. Travis tested waters, help you swim even the feet first. Now strategies and all you need to help you eat.
Hey guys, it's me Travis with PlayerProps.ai, and this is where we're locking in for the Thursday MLB games. So, I got a lot of things to go over. First off, I've recorded this video completely from start to finish already, 20-minute video. The problem with that is I've been playing around and tweaking around with some video recording features or settings, and it actually recorded my video in a wrong file, and it made it 122 gigs. And so the problem was that it was way too big of a video file, and it was also the wrong video file. So I threw it into my editing software, and it's like, we don't recognize what this is. That probably doesn't make any sense to you, but I've already done the show fully once. And then okay, let me tweak it again. Let me go back to recording it again. And then I clicked it again, but because that first file was so large that I wasn't able to record any other videos. And so I've said this intro part like 5 times already today. I just went through, I deleted a lot of stuff. I changed a lot of other things. So hopefully this is the last time I have to record this show for today. But let's go talk about some quick things here. I did mention in all the previous episodes, we're constantly tweaking our new YouTube studio here. So after yesterday's show I recorded, I added the textured wall, which you see back here. This is actually like a 3D wall texture thingy. We had a blue LED coming over here, a green one over there. These colors can change. We'll probably change those quite often. The very last step, after we get all of the new desk and everything else, it's going to be focusing on video quality. The cord I'm using right now, HDMI cord, is like 50 feet long, and so that's why it's not horrible quality, but you're seeing me a little bit more pixelated than you're used to from the other office because I'm sitting so far away from the camera. But anyway, I have already recorded this, so there's some good and bad news that's going to come from that. The good news is that it's not going to be 20 minutes. It's going to be a very short episode. The bad news is you're not going to see the full walkthrough of what my brain did in those 20 minutes to bounce around from some strikeout plays that weren't checking all the boxes to hit run RBI to going back to strikeouts and then finally landing on a hits plus runs plus RBIs. I did mention as well I'm wearing my UCF Knights football shirt because UCF is in the second round of the brand new College Crown Tournament for March Madness. First in Cincinnati is plus 6.5 underdogs. So I believe when I wear the UCF stuff, we're hoping that they pull out an upset. Because if they don't, I'm never going to wear UCF stuff on show days where there's a game ever again. So with that being said, I'm going to now go back and explain in very quick gist of all of the quick things that I did during the 20-minute recording, and we're going to just expedite to the end. So if you have any questions about how I got to the finished product, to the play, please ask me in Discord because I'm going to speed through it real quick now that I've already recorded this video today many times. Let's switch to the other screen here. Okay. Here we go. Hold on to your butts. So the first thing we looked at is, okay, strikeout lines. There's only 5 games today. So when there's a small slate of 3 to 4 to 5 games, you're not going to always find something that checks all the boxes. There's not a single play today that has enough difference over the line. So if we're focusing solely on one of the check spots of is the projection at least 1.0 higher than the line, there's absolutely nobody that fits that. We looked at the pitchers' strikeouts. We realized that. We looked at a few things. Then we decided to go over to a different stat, and we came back. When we came back to strikeouts, we're looking at Hunter Brown because he's 0.9 different between his 5.5 line and 6.4. That's 0.90 difference. But the problem with that is he's versus Minnesota, and so far in this early season, they're like the 5th least strikeoutiest team. I mean, he could probably hit this line fine. And the 2 games he versed against Minnesota last year, he did get 6 strikeouts or more. So his head-to-head is 67% because there are some 2023 season games in there. But it wasn't I need to see Minnesota strike out more before I go this route. So that's why we didn't do pitchers. Nobody, even on the unders and overs, are a full 1.0 different for a 3.5 line or higher. So then we went over to hits, runs, RBIs. Now, to explain this stat for you guys, for who's not familiar, most lines you're going to see for this category of hits plus runs plus RBIs, also known as HRR, if it's a 0.5 line, that's what we see more often than not. Some stellar players sometimes have 1.5, 2.5 the most, I think. I don't think anybody's a 3.5. Sometimes, maybe, who knows. That doesn't mean they have to get one over 0.5 hits and runs and RBIs. It's either or. So if they get 0 hits and then they get 0 hits, 0 runs, but they get 1 RBI, they win. They only have to get one of any of those. So we came over here. We looked at all of these. We went back to our trifectas channel in Discord, which you should be religiously using daily. It says for trifectas, for this particular stat, one of the check boxes we look for is that the projection for 0.5 lines is at least 1.0 or higher, just like strikeouts. So there's only a handful of players, 5 here, that have a line of 0.5 and a projection at least 1.0 higher. Gavin Lux is 1.13. Then all the way up here, Joey Ortiz is 1.25. So we looked at all of those. They're all going to have the sportsbooks favor them. I don't think you're ever going to see sportsbooks have under a minus something under 0.5 line. They'll have it maybe for a 1.5, 2.5, 3.5 line, but never for a 0.5 line. So we were looking at Joey Ortiz, realized that he's not really been consistent. We looked at Harrison Bader. He's gotten 5 hits, runs, RBIs in 3 of the 5 games, but most of those came off of like a 3-run bomb. So he pretty much got, I wouldn't say lucky because he's a professional baseball player, but essentially got lucky and a 3-run bomb 3 out of the 5 games I think he's played. Today, if you go to what we did on the show, the first time I recorded this, we went to the roster details, and it was saying that he's projected to bat 9th. I'm never, ever, ever, ever betting on a player that's projected to bat in 9th, which is last in the lineup. And so we kept bouncing around. We looked at inconsistencies and a bunch of other things. And what we did is we went to Isaac. So Isaac, you see here on the graph, he's played 6 games this season. In the first 5, he got at least 1. He got 1 of either hits or runs or RBIs. He got 3 in this game, and his last game he got 0. So even though this is super, super juicy, so super juicy means it's a lot. This number is a lot further away than 0 than we want it to be. So typically you'll see like minus 110, minus 115 on the over if it's equal both sides on the over and under. His under is plus 140. His over is minus 190. I don't really like these odds, but the thing that I stress to everybody when it comes to odds, I would rather win a minus 190 bet than lose a minus 110 bet. So do you want to force something that's not as good just so you get a little bit more money when you win, but take on a lot more risk, or play the thing that it is good and just make it slightly less when you win? It's about increasing your win percentage, not increasing. If you focus solely on increasing your bankroll, like 99% of other people in the country that are betting on sports do, that's how you light your money on fire. That's how you deposit every single day, because you're only focused on turning what your bankroll currently is to as much as possible, which forces your brain into thinking about parlays that have crazy multipliers on it. The people that are successful in our community are the people who are able to rewire their brain to focus on winning over everything. Focus on increasing your win percentage. If you focus on increasing your win percentage, your bankroll is going to increase. It's by default. But if you focus on increasing your bankroll and not your win percentage, then that's when you're going to play a lot riskier things that just eat up your bankroll. So again, minus 190 is pretty juicy. Yes, I understand. You probably find it a better over odd on a different sports book. Probably. We can actually check that, but we don't need to spend the entire show going through everything again. If you have any questions about how we got to that point of looking at that play, please just ask me in the Discord. Oh, I didn't want to go to K's. I want to go to hits, runs, RBIs. So who are we looking at? So on ESPN Bet, it's minus 180, which is, of course, better than minus 190, so you get better odds there. Everybody's got the same line. But yeah, minus 180 is what we're looking at for that. You can check FanDuel. I guess they don't have this stat up right now because that's why they're not showing. But FanDuel will have, like, it'll show you for instead of 0.5, it'll show you 1 plus HRR. or 1+ hits, runs, RBIs. So it won't just show you over 0.5. It'll just say 1+, which is the same thing. But yeah, so that's what we're going with today. Short, sweet, because, again, I've recorded this video way too many times. But, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy the visuals of this studio as it's coming to fruition. We're not done yet, but this is what we have so far. So lock that in. We'll see you guys in the Discord. Do all the free things or stop betting. Your only two options. You either do all the free stuff, download the free app, create a free account, subscribe to the free YouTube channel, get in the free Discord, or you just stop betting. There's no in between. You either want to win or you don't want to win. And if you don't want to win enough to do the free things, please stop betting. Betting is not for people who are not ready to do all the free things. You don't have to pay anybody any money to be more successful. You just have to do the free stuff. If you can't even do the free stuff, please stop betting. I hate seeing people lose money because they don't listen, because they don't do the free stuff, because they're just, I don't know. Just please. If you can't do the free stuff, you should not be betting. You have a 0% chance of being successful. 0. Good luck. We'll see you guys in the Discord.